bustling city of San Francisco, nestled in the heart of Silicon Valley, there existed a seemingly perfect couple that epitomized the American dream. They were both graduates of Tsinghua University, a prestigious institution known for its academic excellence. This young, highly intelligent couple had carved out a life for themselves in the Bay Area, both working at Google, earning lucrative salaries, and living in a picturesque home in the coveted Santa Clara area. Their life, at least on the surface, appeared to be everything one could hope for, a true fairy tale come true. But the truth of their lives was far darker, a truth that only became known on the fateful morning of January 16, 2024. It was a quiet morning when the call came in to the Bay Area police. The caller, a friend of Chen Liren, expressed concern for his well-being. They had planned to meet for a mental health consultation, but when the caller arrived at Chen's house, there was no response. After ringing the doorbell several times with no answer, the friend peered through the window and was horrified by the sight before them. Chen Liren was kneeling on the floor of the bedroom, seemingly in a trance. His hands were suspended in the air, covered in blood, and his wife, Yu Xuanyi, was lying lifeless on the floor, a pool of blood surrounding her. The police were quickly dispatched to the scene. They arrived to find the door locked, forcing them to break it down. Inside, the officers discovered the horrific crime scene, Yu Xuanyi's body, brutally beaten beyond recognition, with a shattered skull and blood spattered across the walls and floor. There was no sign of any weapon, but it was clear that Chen had used his fists to inflict the fatal blows. His right hand was swollen and bruised, blood staining his clothes. When questioned, Chen simply said, "I killed my wife." The brutality of the murder left investigators in shock. Chen Liren, the man who had always been seen as gentle, intelligent, and calm, had turned into a savage, attacking his wife with a ferocity that was almost beyond comprehension. On the outside, Chen Liren and Yu Xuanyi appeared to have it all. Both graduates of Tsinghua University, they had excelled in their respective fields and found success in Silicon Valley's highly competitive tech industry. Chen Liren had joined Google's engineering team, where he worked on high-profile projects, and Yu Xuanyi had found her place in the cloud computing division. Together, they made a formidable pair, each contributing to their joint success and living a life that many would envy. They had recently purchased a luxurious $2.05 million home in Santa Clara, a symbol of their achievement and their shared dream. Friends and neighbors described them as friendly, yet private. They often shared images of their hiking trips and outdoor adventures on social media, and there were even photos of the couple celebrating New Year's Eve with their pet cat. But beneath this seemingly idyllic exterior, things were not as they appeared. A closer look into their lives revealed a different story, one filled with tension, unresolved issues, and growing isolation. Chen Liren was born in Chengdu, Sichuan, into a family of public servants. He stood out even as a child, tall, intelligent, and known for his accomplishments. As a young boy, he won the prestigious Best Young Citizen of Chengdu award and excelled in mathematics and physics. By high school, he had become a local celebrity, winning national competitions and representing China in summer camps abroad. His academic prowess was undeniable, and it was clear that he was destined for greatness. He entered Tsinghua University in 2014, a feat that only a few could match. At the time, he was in a relationship with another girl, but they eventually broke up during their undergraduate years. Chen, however, had a reputation for being a good student, if a bit quiet. He joined his university's volleyball team and earned a reputation for being both strong and reserved. After graduation, Chen moved to the United States to pursue a master's degree at the University of California, San Diego. There, he met Yu Xuanyi, a bright and ambitious woman from Jilin province. The two became close during their graduate studies, but their relationship remained mostly casual at first. It wasn't until 2018, shortly before they graduated, that their friendship blossomed into romance. In 2019, after completing his master's, Chen moved to the Bay Area, where he worked for a short period at a local tech company before securing a position at Google. His career at Google started well, but the pressure in the fast-paced environment began to take a toll on him. He moved into a shared apartment with a male friend, while Yu Xuanyi remained in San Diego. Their long-distance relationship lasted over a year before Yu Xuanyi moved to the Bay Area to join Chen at Google in 2020. The couple's life seemed to stabilize after their reunion. They bought a home together in 2023, and despite the stresses of their demanding jobs, they appeared content. However, their marriage, as it turned out, was far from perfect. While Chen's colleagues at Google praised him for his dedication and competence, they also noted a significant shift in his behavior leading up to the murder. In the days before the tragic incident, Chen had expressed frustration over a mistake he had made at work, a small error in his coding that had caused a temporary disruption in the project. His mental state seemed to deteriorate after this event. A close friend noticed that Chen appeared unusually withdrawn and agitated, and he suggested that they meet with a mental health professional on January 16th. However, it was too late. On the night before the murder, Chen and Yu Xuanyi had hosted a dinner with friends. According to those present, Chen seemed distant, his eyes vacant, as though lost in thought. No one could have predicted that, just hours later, he would commit such an unthinkable act. The question that has plagued investigators and the public alike is, what drove Chen to kill his wife in such a violent and senseless manner? Various theories have circulated regarding the motive behind Chen's brutal attack on his wife. Some speculate that it was the mounting stress of his high-pressure job at Google. In the weeks leading up to the murder, Chen's work had become increasingly difficult, and the pressure to perform had begun to show. But the severity of his reaction seemed disproportionate to the error he had made. Moreover, Google's work culture, which doesn't emphasize individual blame, suggested that his failure, while notable, was unlikely to have been the sole cause of his breakdown. Another theory suggests that the couple's relationship had become strained, with some even suggesting that Yu Xuanyi may have been seeking a divorce. This speculation was fueled by rumors of her alleged infidelity and dissatisfaction with the marriage. However, no concrete evidence of either infidelity or a desire for divorce has emerged. Yu Xuanyi, according to friends and colleagues, had always been reserved and calm, and there is no record of her being violent or abusive toward her husband, as some rumors had claimed. The truth is that the motive remains unclear. Perhaps it was a combination of personal stress, professional pressure, and unresolved issues in their marriage that led to the tragic outburst of violence. What is certain is that, whatever the cause, Chen Liren's actions on that night were extreme, reflecting an emotional unraveling that no one had anticipated. The murder of Yu Xuanyi has left the community in shock. Colleagues, friends, and neighbors alike have struggled to reconcile the image of the kind, intelligent couple they knew with the horrific crime that transpired that night. As the investigation continues, people are left grappling with difficult questions. How could a man with such potential and promise commit such a brutal act? What went wrong in his life to lead him down this path of destruction? While the true reasons behind Chen Liren's actions may never be fully understood, this tragic case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of mental health, communication in relationships, and the dangers of unaddressed stress. For now, the memory of Yu Xuanyi lives on as a tragic victim of a crime that no one saw coming. As the investigation into the case deepened, both the police and the media began to analyze Chen Liren's sudden violent behavior more thoroughly. People started focusing on his past experiences, particularly the psychological traits that might have formed during his upbringing. Chen Liren had been regarded as a genius since childhood. Although he appeared outgoing and cheerful during his upbringing, some people revealed that, in certain situations, he could be exceptionally sensitive and introverted, especially when facing pressure. Throughout his life, Chen Liren had overly relied on his achievements and external expectations, and this upbringing may have laid the foundation for his psychological state. Especially after entering the workforce, particularly joining a company like Google, he began to face greater pressure and challenges. Although his performance remained outstanding, whether he truly managed this pressure became a point for reflection. In early 2024, Chen Liren had become extremely anxious and self-critical after a work mistake. And during this period, his friends described him as having lost his usual energy and sense of humor. Many speculated that the collapse of his mental state could have been triggered by work pressure. A small mistake, an error in a line of code, led to a series of emotional breakdowns for him. Due to Google's lenient handling of mistakes, the issue did not result in any serious consequences. But for Chen Liren, it was an unbearable pressure. Perhaps in that moment, he felt that he could no longer endure any potential failures, especially with his wife, Yu Xuan, who was also under intense pressure. According to sources close to him, Yu Xuan had a gentle personality, but her profession also caused her significant stress. After joining Google, her career seemed intertwined with Chen Liren's, but she also carried a heavy workload. Whether she had been silently enduring hidden struggles in their marriage, which had not been known to the outside world, became a topic of speculation. However, regardless of how outsiders speculated, all the answers seemed to point to one fundamental cause. The tragedy occurred because of the emotional breakdown between the couple under extreme pressure, as well as possibly neglected psychological health issues. Without enough emotional support and effective stress management, some pent-up emotions could erupt in extreme forms. As for why Chen Liren chose such a cruel way to end his wife's life, whether there had been long-term accumulated resentment or prolonged suppression of emotions, these questions remained unanswered. Yet, some details might shed more light on the case. In the days following the incident, the media and public paid more attention to Chen Liren, uncovering details that had previously gone unnoticed. While the case was beginning to reveal unsettling psychological dimensions, it also sparked widespread discussion about high-pressure work environments, marriage crises, and mental health issues. Ultimately, this case became a stark warning, reminding people that accumulated workplace stress, marital problems, and neglect of mental health could lead to unforeseen consequences. Behind this tragedy, it reflected the fragility of human psychological resilience and the importance of stress management.